You're trespassing on my property. Get the hell out of my yard. JT, let me have this house. JT let you have my house. That's my shit. I want it. You're trespassing on my property. You didn't win shit in my yard.
Chill. Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that? What the hell is even that? Get everybody out of my yard!
Greetings and salutations, my people. Welcome back to another episode of the Shiitake Show, where we cover topics and say the things that you don't have the balls to cover yourself. I am joined by the awesome Demo. We have a lot to run through today. It's summer. It's the first week of summer, and since this used to be E3 and E3's dead, we got a whole lot of other game shows that have been announcing. Also, we have literally 90 plus games that have been announced in the last 10 days. We've got Switch 2 drama. We got handheld drama because Xbox came out kind of dirty in the last couple of days. And then there's plenty of Web3 things that we can be kind to or not kind to. That's what's in store today. Thanks for hanging out. If you're here early, we're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. Twitter video sucks. You can go watch us on YouTube. It's better, I promise. Demo, how you doing today?
Hello, Vix. All good in this part of the world. And as every week, we got ready so much stuff to talk about. We tried some new games, then we talk about that later. Well, maybe some shit gonna be thrown on. We tried other games, then reach room 46 in blueprints that is being reached. And also I've done all the other end game puzzle. Almost completely 100%, but I got fed up of the game because it's getting a bit too long, too many puzzles. I've done it all, and it's only a few other things that are unrevealed, the whole story behind the mansion and our hero Simon. Finished that. I've gone on a PlayStation. I was saying last week, I really want to try a new horror games. Something appeared on my PlayStation Plus. I said, what's that? 3 games, Alone in the Dark. I say, man, these games, I need to try it. I need to play it again. I played the PlayStation 1 version probably 20 years ago, maybe a bit less. But yeah, game was fucking awesome, and then the remake is so good. It gave you that kind of vibes between Silent Hill, Resident Evil, very dark areas, monsters, few puzzles again, our friends Blueprints, but with a little tangerine of horror and mystery. Have you played any other games yourself, Vic?
Bro, Alone in the Dark looks pretty twisted, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. Sometimes PlayStation Plus can come through like that. Yes. I haven't been playing any puzzle games. There's not really many puzzles. I have been enjoying the latest build of Bornless. They had some bugs the other day, and they had to shut the server down for a minute, but it's mainly because they added so many new features to this build. It's pretty dope. It's pretty good. It's horror. It's scary. I suck at it. I enjoy it, though. It's good.
Well, few bugs is not too bad. We know playtest and pre-alpha is for that to tackle all these bugs before the game go worldwide live, and they need to hit millions of players. So it's better than happen now than when it's a big global release and the game's gonna suck. Off the grid did that.
This is true. This is why we do it. This is why Steam has the next fest, so that way you can beta test, you can stress test, you can see what's going on. I hate spiders. It's a good game, though. I enjoy the team. They had a town hall last week that was really, really informative. They sat there for almost 2 hours and just answered tons of questions. Talked to the community about things that they hope to add soon. It was cool. It was cool. I was glad to see that they're really open and hanging out with the community.
My main question: are they gonna keep it only on a PC, or they're gonna launch it on console as well?
So in the town hall, they said that the challenges of launching on a console are harder than they expected. They had planned to roll that out like with an upcoming playtest apparently. But they said that the challenges were a little bit harder, a little bit more than they anticipated, and so they're gonna stay on PC at least for like the foreseeable future, probably for like the rest of this year. They definitely have plans to go console, but it might be a minute.
I really hope they're gonna launch it on consoles. It looked like so good, and it's very similar to The Hunt, where like
Yes.
you go around, kill other people, kill monsters, try to extract your. What was like in The Hunt? You need to extract something. You need to extract yourself probably out from that horror movie. Like, yeah, that was one of the only battle royale horror games around. Yeah, there are like few other multiplayer games horror, but nothing was as The Hunt. And having Borderlands as a new second big horror multiplayer is something like sweet.
It's been interesting to see bigger outlets like IGN, Game Informer, Space.com, PC Gamer. They're all picking up a lot of Web3 games and talking about them. Sparkball's been mentioned, Bornless has been mentioned, Off the Grid has been mentioned in all of those, which is something nice to see compared to a couple years ago where they were super antagonistic against anything even like associated with Web3. So cool.
100%.
But
well, definitely Web3 is making its way out a little bit with some of these titles, but most of these titles are not completely Web3 yet.
Yeah.
They're like still in the middle, like they're deciding where to move, like they're considering the market, they're considering where the major audience is. But at the same time, if a lot of Web2 players start playing that and they like it, even if after they move in Web3, they're probably gonna try to learn how to deal with it and keep playing, because that's what games need to do. Like in change, you evolve, and if players like your games, they're gonna keep playing it. Doesn't matter what direction they will take.
Yeah. So it's cool. Good build. We'll see what the future holds. There's still a lot more that I hope they add if they want to actually compete with Hunt Showdown. But speaking of horror, was there maybe some other horror games that were on the radar?
Well, there are a couple of massive titles, and both did to even big announcements this last week. Silent Hill F finally announced the day of release and some footage of the gameplay, and it looked pretty awesome. It looked much different from the old Silent Hill, like Silent Hill 2. It looked like a little bit more action in the games, a little bit more faster pace, and is in Japan, and is look like one of that Japanese horrors movie, like with this like mannequin trying to kill you, and you need to escape, and you can use any fucking things you have around to kill monsters. I saw like you have a bloody sword and like some knives and a stick and stuff like that. I say, I can't wait to slay some monsters. Another big games announced it in a very controversial way during the state of play. Big name again, Capcom. And if I say Capcom, you should know what I'm talking about. Resident Evil Requiem. Capcom, like during state of play, was announcing about it's an anniversary of Resident Evil, and people might have some news soon. Everyone was so disappointed. Everyone was crying. Everyone was already fighting on keyboards and say, bloody Capcom, again they're doing this to us? Again they're not announcing anything? Half an hour later, bosh, trailer of Resident Evil Requiem come out and everyone's silent. and the game looked pretty awesome as well. Like, can't wait. Next February,
Yeah.
less than a year, and before GTA 6.
And before GTA 6, and there's supposedly some news in the grapevine that they're finally remaking a lot of the older games that fans have wanted to be remade. Which the Resident Evil series is fucking huge at this point. And their remakes have been crushing it. A lot of, like, Dead Space's remake crushed it. Resident Evil 2, 4, 3, awesome remakes. So, like, yeah,
Resident
not
Evil 4
only,
was so good.
yeah. So we're also heading back finally to Raccoon City, for the first time since, I believe, the first time
Yeah.
since Resident Evil 2. There it is. There you go. There's Raccoon City right
Yeah,
next to the crater.
it's the first time.
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil Biohazard was in Raccoon City as well. Or was
See,
it in
you
Raccoon
might be
City?
right. I'm pretty sure there's an option, like Umbrella Corps might have also taken place for a little bit in There might have been a mission in Raccoon City.
Yeah, well, Resident Evil Village, it wasn't mentioned. But I think in Resident Evil Biohazard, Resident Evil 7, I think there was few mention about it. Resident Evil 6, no one talk about Resident Evil 6. But Resident Evil 5, maybe. Or was it Resident Evil 5? Yeah, Resident Evil 6 was like the one where it was an action
Yes.
game, like
Yeah.
just running, and you had zombies like with guns like flying around. So, what? This is not Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was like an action fever dream. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, so big game, big expectations. Very cool that Capcom understands Resident Evil is a money-making franchise in the video game industry. It's a embarrassment in the movie industry, and little less in the TV industry. But they understand that this series, a lot of fans are waiting for it. I'm sure there will be characters from other games that they sprinkle in here or there. I'm looking forward to it. But thing is, so all right, this game was announced at, I mean, this says Summer Game Fest. So you had, where are we at here? We have, go all the way to the top, the PlayStation State of Play. We have the Future Games Show Summer Showcase. Say that 10 times fast. And then we have the Summer Game Fest. The Summer Game Fest announced 20 new games. The State of Play announced 21. And the Future Game Show announced over 40. So we've had 90 plus games announced in the last couple of days. And some of them are fucking sick. The Expanse is finally coming. Let's go. I don't know what Echoes is. I don't know what Whispers. Yep. We got the finals. We got so many. I could just scroll for a while, and we're just still going. Yeah, still going. That's a lot of games. Couple of Web3ers in here too.
And I feel like on my timeline on X as well, like a little provocative things like people keep saying gaming is dead. Gaming is dead. Gaming is dead. Bro, how can we be dead with all these games coming out?
Bro,
definitely it's growing industry.
Bruh, how can you say that, bro?
Almost 100 games announced.
Seriously, we got.
And there's some games during all this announcement. Was one especially is called Pragmata Returns, and Pragmata Returns is actually returning.
Yes.
Is one of that games, like it's been announced first time in 2020. Everyone kind of forgot about it. People thought, oh, the developing studio is dead. They like crap, blah 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 blah. And they shut up everyone again and again from Capcom. Like Capcom like launched these two games, Resident Evil Requiem and Pragmata together. And this one is actually handsome game. They didn't just launch a trailer though. It's not just trailers. A lot of games they launch a trailer and after they finish like that, they showcase some of the gameplay as well. And he owning this space station, which it is a guy with this girl. The girl is no human, is an android. And you need to fight even more android. And I don't think will be just an action game. I think they will put some horror vibe inside of it as well. Because been abandoned on a bloody space station.
Bro, this game looks
Look
sick.
at it. It looks so good.
That game
5
looks
years
incredible.
development. So Capcom launching like 2 big games. Look, that's the Metal Gear there. Another game being announced as well. Metal Gear Snake Eater remastered.
Yes, yeah.
So not
They
just
also
Capcom, also Konami, together with Silent Hill, launching another banger. Right? Everyone was saying, like, Konami's not doing games anymore. Konami's not doing game anymore. Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid. What we want? Like, come on, guys. Any
there's
games you saw around that you liked?
bro, there's so many good games in each of these announcements. Ghost of Yote, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Hell yeah. Can't wait for that. The Marvel fighting game actually looks pretty dope. Romeo is
Yeah, it
Dead
looks
had
like
one of the craziest art styles. It was very similar. No More Superheroes that came out for like GameCube years ago had a really like street art style. It's very similar to that. It's a really cool stylistic game. I'm not really big into Digimon, but I'm sure that Digimon game is going to do gangbusters. A lot of these. Ninja Gaiden, however you want to say it. Another Metal Gear. Like, yeah, dude, that game just keeps going. Neo 3, if you're someone that... Sorry, what's up?
That's a Hirogami. You just pass it and look very interesting as well. I don't know if you saw the gameplay. It's like a platform games where everyone is an origami. I like you turn like in paper and going back in paper. It reminded me a mix between what was the name? Terraria? No, not Terraria. I don't remember the name. It was another game where you are a little piece of paper and you go around.
Looks pretty good. It says it's very stylized after the Into the Spider-Verse movie, and that makes sense.
Yeah, and it reminded me a little bit also like the gameplay kind of a Astrobot game where you just go through a few levels and few like every level is like a different dungeon kind of, and it's all like hard with obstacles and stuff. So look really similar to Astrobot, and I see in the next few years we're gonna see more games like that, because Astrobot did so well. Then other games probably they're gonna start developing something similar. And also Astrobot announced 5 new levels coming this summer.
Astrobot has
another update.
They've got a lot of awards under their belt. Listen, Waifu Tactical Force gotta be on the list. Gotta be one that you consider. Sleep Awake, looking dope. There's too many, dude. There's a lot of fucking games out there, man.
The new 007 games.
Yeah.
That looks pretty awesome.
And then also the crossover, because there's the Hitman World of Assassins that's crossing over with James Bond as well. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And like this new 007, it gave me a vibes, and it's not gonna be a one-off games. It looked like very similar to Uncharted, but with a bit more action. And I think they're gonna kind of develop the character a bit more. It's completely separate from every movies. It have no reference from the movie. This is a different world 007 from another universe. And I think they're developing the characters and the storyline to make sequels if the games go well as they want. So if the game go quite well, and from what I saw from the trailer, it could go quite well. It looked like maybe a kind of, I don't remember if you played Max Payne. It's a mix between Max Payne and Hitman and Uncharted all together. So I think the game would have a quite good success. And 007 brand is massive.
It's interesting to see Amazon finally putting their money and their war chest to work. Because it said that this is an Amazon MGM game. And Amazon has been quietly cooking on a couple of massive IP games for a while. Amazon owns Lord of the Rings. They own Tomb Raider. They own 007. They have rights to some of the most iconic, like, traditional IPs out there, and they've been slowly working on massive RPGs and games. It's interesting to see them finally come out. There's a lot of games that are now being developed by movie studios. A16, or not A6, there's A24. There's a lot of straight up big cinematics for Amazon. If this does well, Amazon gonna keep investing in games, gonna keep going big into gaming and using their traditional IP. Like you said, yeah, it'll lead to more in the franchise. Because the last couple of movies actually haven't paid off that much in an investment. So if the game brings in more money, maybe that's where the audience is for the next generation, is in gaming, not in movies. And maybe that's where they'll be putting more investment in. It's interesting.
Of course, because it's Amazon. If the game go well enough, I can see them throwing on Amazon Prime a new series about 007. Not a movie, but a series.
Oh, yeah.
Like they done with The Last of Us, how they done with Fallout, both Amazon Prime's babies. If they start making games, and from the games start making series, they have the best of the two worlds. And we know, like, streaming series at the moment is going better than cinema movies. It's less people going to the cinema because they have so much selection at home, and they say, "Oh, when I need to go cinema, spending like, I don't know, $20 for the tickets, plus if I'm there, I get popcorn. But after like there, I want to go back home. It's like it's a journey. Well, now you just sit down, turn on your TV, and pick what you want to watch." And some movies, like, they release before this kind of platform, like Netflix, Amazon, or whatever, before they release, or if they ever release in cinemas.
I'm also just noticing, this is one thing that James Bond has been known for a while, is product placement. Let me get rid of this.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Nice Omega watch. Let's see if we can see this in the background real quick. Oh, look at that nice Range Rover Defender in the background. They're so precise with their product placement. There's so many Heineken beer, Rolls Royce. There's so many massive, prestigious brands that pay fuck tons of money to be in James Bond movies in specific areas. This is yet another way for Amazon to bring in shit tons of advertiser dollars. Dude,
yep.
I'm gonna rewatch this trailer again and just see how many product placements I can spot just in the trailer, dude. That's gonna be nuts. And if they apply that to other games like Tomb Raider or dude, yeah, that's nuts. That's wild. That's a really interesting.
Yeah, probably gonna see like a few Rolls Royce, Bentleys, and probably we're gonna see some like in the computers section as well. Maybe some other branding here and there. So
yeah, dude. Yeah.
And
so
look, while we're talking about that, bloody Omega had their sponsors in front of our reviews as well, and we didn't get anything.
Oh shit. You're absolutely right. Pay attention, you didn't see that, anybody. Pay attention, you didn't see that. Actually, we're not even going to call this the PlayStation State of Play. We're just going to call it PlayState, because Sony didn't pay us either. But yeah. Yeah, dude. Lots of cool games. Lots of good stuff. Lots of very high-end games. This is another one that's made from a straight-up movie studio, The Expanse. Dude, we might be, I don't know, this is just like an announcement in the summer, but we might be
disappearing for years and come back after we play all these games. We're not gonna go out from home for a while.
Well, this is true. We need another pandemic, so we have an excuse to just stay at home and play video games all the time. But we might this may herald in a bit of a mini like golden age. Like back in the day, we had such a golden age of gaming, of like great new IP, great strong IP. The developers gave power to the gamers, like they gave favor to the gamers. It wasn't about just making money and shit.
Yeah. And do you know another games? Just come in my mind. I was following for a while, and it's been announced in this week as well. It's called Mouse PI.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Mouse PI is an Ansem IP and have the same kind of designing of another games that it went successful in the last few years, and that is Cuphead.
Yeah.
And Cuphead was massive, massive, not just on PC and consoles, but also on portable consoles like the Switch, and probably it's gonna be on Switch too. But and they even made trading card games of Cuphead recently as well, and was a series on Netflix.
There's too many trading card games out there. Also Cuphead.
Yeah, but I think it's more like a collection card than a playable card.
Gotcha.
So like you collect all the cards and you can remake the world of Cuphead, and you can use different cards together to make like a massive kind of card map kind of. So
Alright.
like it's like cards, but also puzzle and collectibles. These guys know how to brand their stuff, innit?
Yes. But listen, we could talk about all these games forever. So I'm gonna move us along to another interesting topic of today, which is bam, Nintendo Switch 2 is out here doing shit. Nintendo Switch 2. Are you gonna buy a Switch 2, Demo? Do you have a Switch?
I have a Switch Lite. I don't have the proper Switch. I had the Switch Lite because I liked like when I was traveling more between here in Japan, not just watching a movie, but the Switch Lite was just coming out. Was very big with Pokemon Let's Go. So when I was in Japan, I bought the whole set for quite cheap. I think it was less than $100, something like that. It was very,
Wow.
very cheap.
Nice.
And I said, you know what? I'll take it when I'm on the flight. I have something to do like here and there. But when I'm home, normally it's more big console like the PlayStation and sometimes on PC, and I like to play on mobile. So I'm not very using the Switch as much as I want.
Gotcha.
But no one have the time to do everything all the time.
That's fair. Switch is making some noise out there. They for a variety of reasons. They're selling in quite well. In America, there was maybe a bit of a conundrum where a GameStop reportedly ruined a whole bunch of Switch 2s by stapling the receipt to the box. And I guess the screen for the Switch was right next to the box, so they just stapled right into the screen. Or they had massive staples. I don't know. Nintendo's already agreed to replace it. But this is already... There are other places in the UK as well that say they've had either tampered Switches or Switches that are broken already. It does not get a very good review by tech people. It seems like it's very hard to fix, and that it'll be a lot more expensive than other Switches to fix as well. But a bit of a shady thing is that the handheld market is pretty dead. There's not many things that were making consoles for handheld because you have your phone for the most part. Why would you need a mobile? The ones that are main on the market are the Steam Deck and the Switch 2. But the thing is, there may be word on the street of others. We have some Web3 things we can talk about, like the Solana Play and the Sui Play. I think they're both called the same thing. Handhelds, pretty cool. But Xbox came out of left field just as hype for Switch 2 is getting to a peak and tried to steal some of it with their Xbox Ally, which is pretty interesting. Would you consider a different kind of handheld, Demo?
Yeah, I think like also PlayStation was about to launch like a new portable consoles. I think they announced something about in this month they're gonna announce something about a new console or something. So I don't know. they were talking about PlayStation 6. I don't think so. It's that gonna take a while. I think they're working on another portable version as well. So I think Xbox and PlayStation also want to jump in the market, switch to done it before the others. And I think their target is reaching 15 millions consoles sold over time or something like that. And on the launch, Switch 1 sold much more than Switch 2. But Nintendo know that. Nintendo say, yeah, we know it's not gonna be as big as the Switch 1. We know it's gonna take more time, but we're not worried about that. And they keep going like that. Because at the moment they are the only one on the market. Xbox probably gonna launch, even if they're gonna launch, I don't think they will ever be as good as the Switch, probably.
It's interesting. We'll see. My gaming laptop is an ROG Asus, and it seems that Microsoft is teaming up with ROG Asus to make these handheld devices. So it might be kind of cool. We'll see how it goes. I got pretty good faith in Asus ROG. This is an old gaming laptop, and she's still purring like a kitty. But I don't. We'll see. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I think if they launch, they need to launch with some new feature, something new. Then it can be like different. So the Switch to launch it like with the things, then you can use it as you can take off the sides and you can use it as a mouse. So you can actually kind of play as you playing on PC by the Switch. So maybe Xbox need to go over that and I don't know, make something like it become a drone and you can use the old bloody console to play.
this is true.
Who knows?
This is true.
But I think the technology is going so over, and I think with AI and with the new nanotechnologies, we're gonna see many more portable consoles. With yes, you have the big console, they have a superpower, like it can run FPS much quicker. But if they start decreasing the size of the chips and the power they needed, we're gonna see console going back small and small. I think to be like with the phones. With the phones, we had like massive phones, and they keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and with much more power. Like probably our phone now have much better power than a laptop of 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it'll just keep getting better as well. There was a leak of PlayStation 6, which supposedly will come out 2027. Yeah, it looks like there was a leak about a game that was being developed for a PlayStation 6, and their goal was 2027. So we'll see. But yeah,
would be much more games with an Unreal Engine. Maybe we're gonna come a console from Unreal Engine.
Bro, I hope we don't need another console war.
Well, everyone is jumping on it. Like you just said, Solana and Asui also launched consoles.
Handheld. I mean, I feel like we know who won the main console, like, or who the main people in the main console war is. Like, you got Xbox, you got Nintendo, you got Sony. You don't like. There's Sega's still out there. There's other consoles you can buy, just nobody gives a shit about them. So these are the three that have kind of won. There's the handheld console. Nobody's won that. Nintendo's like the only person that's competing. No one's even competing with them. So the fact that Xbox is entering the ring, the fact that Sony looks like already has the Portal, and the fact that now we have Web3 games, now we have the Sui Play that will come out that is essentially just a Steam Deck that features Web3 games.
Nintendo always won it. Like I remember when PlayStation Vita came out, like PSP first and after PlayStation Vita, and they never sold as good as any of the other Nintendo DS or Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or Switch. They always dominated. Is their IP is so good for the hand consoles like Mario or Mario Kart, etc. That's so good for console, and Sony or Xbox, they don't have access to that games.
Yeah.
So for the people love that kind of games. Like, oh, I can play Mario, but I can't play on a PlayStation, so I buy a Nintendo Switch. Because Nintendo Switch, I can play that, but I can also play games that are on Sony and Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost of them.
We'll see, dude. We'll see what the future holds. The point is, whoever said gaming is dead is fucking stupid. Because there's so much shit happening in gaming. You're dumb. Gaming's not
People
dead.
say gaming is dead. Is people then they don't ever play games. It's people then they just play some kind of Web3 games to extract money, and now even that industry is changing towards a more gamer friendly environment. They will say, oh fuck, what shall we do now?
Yeah.
I can't get paid anymore to write a post on X saying, oh, this game is awesome. Oh,
But-
wow, I played this game hours and hours, but they don't know how, not even how to turn on a PC probably. They're just on their phone. Oh well.
Yeah, dude. Listen, speaking of stupid, I believe there was a beast from Tokyo that has done some stupid things lately.
Yeah, today was a big launch, global launch of this new mobile games called Tokyo Beast. The company is from Dubai. Gaming development and development studio is from Japan called Gumi. I believe so. I think it's Gumi developers. They're quite experienced um, developers. They also own, I think, Final Fantasy IP for the characters. I don't know if they're working on a game for that. But let's talk about Tokyo Beast. I tried the games this morning, this global launch. I didn't had before was like entry with a code. I was like, oh, I'm not bothered to get a code playing. I wait the global launch and I tried then. Maybe they fix even a few things, so I don't need to get worried about all these bugs and turn on the games. Good starters. You have this intro video, then I explain you the games and everything. And after you have a tutorial. And in this tutorial, it's not like an engagement tutorial where you need to play a few games or whatever and they teach you while you're playing and while you're doing stuff. You just open a Windows and you do skip, 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 skip. Get the reward. Tutorial 2, skip, skip, get the reward. Tutorial 3,
nice.
skip, skip, get the reward. Skip. I keep going like that, all of them. And like I jumped the whole tutorial and still like it's very easy games. The interface is quite bad. Like at one point I didn't know what to click. I was stuck in this screen. I said, how do I go back? It take me ages to find like a little button on the left. Then it's like clear white. Like if it's a white that blends too much with the rest of the screen. So it take me ages to find it. Okay, click it, go back, try to fight. Okay, I'll go my gacha, pick up some beast, ready for the fight. Come on, I'm ready. I got my team. I want to destroy someone. Click. Auto battler. Okay. I thought skill play games where I need to actually do something like decision maker or attack before this beast instead of the other ones. No, all automated. And you have the simplest way to create a team ever. You just put at the front the one is a tank with a lot of energy, and after you put the one with the attack. So while they try to destroy your tank, the attack one kill the other monsters, and it's all a lottery. It's basically a lottery. You have your team, they have your team. Click the button, and the game decide who win, who lose. Doesn't really matter what kind of teams you have, and I think the matchmaking is not that good because if you try to make a strong team, you match with much stronger people than you and they destroy you. So you just put a very weak team, like very average.
Gotcha.
And you just keep winning. And then when you play, you have energy. All your monsters have energy, but they spend energy only if you win. If you lose, you don't spend energy. So if your team loses, you just keep playing until they win, basically.
Oh, interesting.
And you don't get point decreased if you lose. You get only point if you win. Bro, it's it's a weird game. I saw a lot of people that's calling it like biggest game ever, like super fun, super entertaining. Well, if I want to play a game, I want to play a game. I don't want to click a button and go back watch Netflix. And after when the game is finished, the other thing is quite strange is when you play the auto battler, instead of the screen you're seeing now, you basically have written in the middle auto battler, auto battler, auto battler. Okay, I thought maybe it's just click auto battler and you have the other button on the right where you can click play the game. You play the game, it's basically the same without the writing auto battler. And the only things you need to do is when one of the beasts have these special skills, you need to time to press a button 3 times to use the special skill. But it's much easier to just auto battler and it will be always the perfect pressing. While if you're trying, you can make a mistake, so it doesn't make sense. And the opponent is not a live battle. You don't fight with someone on the other side playing against you. You just play against an AI bot. So they pick the team from another person, they throw it towards you. Auto battler versus auto battler. Yeah, that's the skin things. So you need to press the button when it's inside the push thing.
Gotcha.
And if you do an auto battler, it does it by yourself, and it's always perfect. If you do it by yourself, obviously you need to actually timing to do that. But that's the only gameplay in the game.
Interesting.
And all the rest is just big lottery. Like you click, you try to gacha, you try to get beast and mods and stuff like that. And after you can bet on other people result, you can watch a game.
Welcome
and you
to
can bet
Tokyo.
who is the winner between 2 people. And yeah, very like a gamble game. Like why I want to gamble on 2 auto battler people than auto battling themselves.
So, how much of a runway do you think they have? How long do you think this game is it's going to be around, be relevant?
Oh, it's been launched today. I would say for the maybe next week or 2, we're gonna hear about that, and after it's gonna do very similar to other EMX Immutables games where they pass the turn to another games. I don't know, maybe a year before they shut as well.
They have ambitious plans, it looks like, but I don't know if a team battling Pokemon game that's like Raid Shadow Legends but with creatures is really a recipe for success in Web3. I don't know.
The thing is, like, why someone want to play strategy tactical games will pick Tokyo Beast when Final Fantasy Tactic is coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you actually need some strategy to move your characters around to beat someone else. Like, it is actually a strategy game. Well, this one is not a strategy game, it's like a lottery game.
Huh.
Even like another games I used to play is called Forest Knight. Like, you have like a chessboard and you need to move all your characters in the chessboard to defeat the other person. And you don't battle with an AI, you mostly like to battle with another player. So it's actually a chess battle where you need to decide where to move your characters and you need to think every move you need to do to win. That's a strategy game. A strategy game is not an auto battler. Yeah, you need to put up a good team to fight, but sometimes you should have a worse team against a good team but because your strategy is better, how you attack and how you defend, how you time some of your ability to defeat who is stronger than you. While on an auto battler, the auto battler automatically will make 90% of time the stronger team win. So you just be a strong team, and strong team win against more team. But in a chess game, you can be a good player, and after you make a mistake, and that's it. And also, I can see that the other Freya. I don't
Tell
know
me
if
about
you
Freya,
checked.
Demo.
They got a very good cosplayer, and that's the only things I can say. I think they already launched their token. They got like an AI. They got a cosplayer on the X page. I think they put some advertising Akihabara in Tokyo.
Yes.
Well, Akihabara is very famous for anime fan and gaming fan. When you go there, I've been there. The main things you see is like these girls' characters everywhere to attract gamers.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it, now, Demo?
And I was trying to find an actual gameplay of this game, and it took me ages. And after I found a little bit of a gameplay inside one of the trailers on YouTube,
Okay.
then it looked like a very old kind of Final Fantasy games where you have like 3 or 4 characters. In this case, they're all girls, and you need to beat like some monsters or other teams. So nothing special. And it's all 2D. I don't know why they're showing like 3D characters with a massive breast instead of actually gameplay footage.
Yeah, listen, Demo. So to the audience, Demo discovered this game and sent it to me, and I realized that their marketing is on point. And any game that's struggling to get traction, hire an attractive cosplayer to dress up as your characters and take selfies. You find them on Insta, find them on TikTok, find them all over. Send them a free outfit and tell them to just stand there and take a couple pictures. And I think you will bring more eyeballs to your game than most KOLs in Web3 have done in an entire campaign.
But they might be the wrong guys.
They might. Well, listen, money is money. Eyeballs are eyeballs.
Still eyes. Eyes is eyes, isn't it?
Eyes is eyes. Like yeah. Listen, you can pay me to be your advisor. I will do this for you. You can pay me to be a consultant, and I will help you market with the Victor way. All right, give me a call.
Will you do the cosplay as well?
Depends. If they have any characters that wear masks and can just dress up in a suit of armor or something, maybe I'll save money. You can save money that way. Otherwise, and I mean, listen, if your target audience is females, do the same thing with dudes. You find some Chris Hemsworth guys on Instagram, pay him to dress up like your barbarian character. Done. Once again, you can hire me. My name's Victor. Give me a call. Yeah. So yeah,
especially for horror games.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of other like Web3 games that are out here, we got Sparkball. I was looking around earlier. I didn't find their announcement on a tweet, so it must have been in their Discord. But as much as this game is fun, and the game is fun, it's a really enjoyable fucking beat 'em up soccer game with Marvel heroes is the way I describe it. It's a soccer with Marvel characters. It's really fun. But a couple of creators and I believe that this game is going to follow the same route of Shatterline, which is a very promising and fun game. The mechanics are awesome. The world is dope. They did a really cool job telling a story, but the leadership and the developers at that studio are not making the right decisions for that game. And so that game is ultimately going to fail without seeing its full potential. And I think that's going to be the same thing with Sparkball. Sparkball showed up in Web3 almost 2 years ago now. They failed to get funding. So they left and they went to Web 2 and they failed to get funding. So now they're back to Web 3 and they don't even know how they're going to implement Web 3 mechanics, but they're here just for funding. So I don't know how well this game is going to do. I don't think we've seen it reach its peak potential, and I don't know if we will see it reach its peak potential because the latest Web3 mechanics that they've announced are match wagering, and that you can have AI battle for you, and the winnings are crypto. I don't see that being super successful myself. I don't think there's any game that has match wagering that's going to do well, like even in Web 2 or Web 3, even just gambling on the outcome of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to channel Yin, not going to make it for a minute, and just say, make some fucking tradable skins on chain. What's the problemo? Just make some really cool skins, put them tradable on the chain, blah, 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 done. That's really like all gamers want. Right, just
100%.
Yeah,
Like it's what everyone want. I was talking with someone during the week, and I was saying, gamers will always spend some money for skins, especially if they like the skin. Gamers will never spend $100, $200 for a PFP for a game. Then it gives you some phantomatic advantages. And if they give you that phantomatic advantages, and if the advantage is too big, it's gonna become a pay to win games where you need to spend a lot of money to win. So free to play players, they won't play. It would be like, oh, you need to spend that much money if you want to win, if you want to make an effort. So I leave it. But when it's skins, and you can get the skins like by playing, by events, by Christmas presents, like a lot of games like give skins for Christmas presents. Just go with it. Just go with the skin. Like even Sparkball can do like, you can have like maybe NFTs pitch where everyone can customize their half pitch. Like half pitch is my customization, that's where I'm playing, and that's your customization is where you're playing, and you're gonna make it like even the pitch more attractive. So every game is gonna be a little bit different and a little bit personalized. You can change maybe the football, like so who play the games, the main ball can be like, oh, I customize this one because I won the last game, so I pick what we're playing. It can be like the goal, it can be some of the characters, like you have the main characters, and main characters have different skins, like we saw in League of Legends, how much money people spend for League of Legends skins.
This is what I'm saying. This is what everyone's been saying. League of Legends skins, CSGO skins, like name the skin. I've been playing Warhammer Vermintide, and the skin, the transactions of skins you can buy in that game is like fucking ridiculous. It's what people spend the money on. Nobody is fucking wagering on matches. So give me some fucking customization and some personalization options, and I will give you my money.
And I don't know why almost every single Web3 games, they try to make new things, and it don't work. They try to make Ponzi's, they try to make betting on games, they try to make anything that is not related to gaming, but more like to a casino or gambling, and just make games for gamers. Make bloody skins for gamers, like Fortnite. New season started. What they pick? Bloody Superman, Robin. People like Batman, people like Superman. They will try to buy the battle pass to get that skin.
Yeah.
And they will play with the skin. They have like skin for the jetpack. They have like dancing moves, and the amount of money they go in the games for that. And I never saw one person saying, you know what? I really want to bet on Fortnite games. I pick one player, and if he win, I get some money. Maybe they do. Maybe they're doing football. They're doing.
You're absolutely
NFL.
right. I mean, gambling on that stuff does exist, right? Casinos do exist. Sports betting does exist, and it is a pretty big industry, honestly. And esports are a thing, and people will bet on that. But yeah, these games don't have to recreate the wheel. If we know gamers will already spend a shit ton of money on skins, then just put the skins on chain. If you know gamers are already going to spend a bunch of money on weapon skins, then just make those weapon skins and put them on chain. And voila. You don't have to recreate and find new ways to implement it. Yeah, it's not whatever. I do think we're preaching to mostly the choir, though. I think, like, the only people that don't agree with us are these idiots. I don't know. Like, gamers, every gamer out there is yeah. Whatever. We're beating a dead horse. We're beating a whole dead corral at this point. So, as we come to the end of the hour, Mr. Demo, do you have any predictions for the coming week?
Coming weeks, Tokyo Beast, as I said, probably is gonna be on a timeline for during this week. We're gonna see if it's still on a timeline next week, next Monday. What else is launching? I can't think any other game launching at the moment on Web3. Freya, I don't think it's gonna launch anytime soon. That game, whatever. Did you heard anything about Lowland?
No.
I think the prediction we done 2 weeks ago, where we said they're gonna disappear quite.
I don't know.
quick.
Let me give a
Yeah,
shout
right.
out to Memento Mori real quick. Because he dropped an enormous article right here. Abstract, the consumer blockchain or casino chain. And I know Lolland, it's a Pudgy IP, it's Pudgy Penguins IP, and Abstract is essentially owned by Luca Netz, who owns the Pudgy IP. He laid out a lot of arguments for Abstract's very slow cook. He actually had very, very few negative things to say about it. But it made me think of their games, and made me think of how, like, everything they've done is an experiment, and they're not really necessarily trying to be. When Sam says Web3 gaming is inevitable, I don't think they're trying to be that inevitability. They're just trying to, like, fuck around right now and experiment with shit. It was a good read. Shout out Maury. Dude was clearly working on this for a long time, or he had his AI working on this for a long time. I mean, you're right. Lawland is out. Like, no one's really talking about or giving a shit about that, and not many people are giving a shit about Abstract either, based on their total volume and their transactions and the games that are there. But I don't know.
Well,
I think
the main feature they had was like the streaming platform, and it could be such a good idea. But just keep it open to everyone. Don't like just cut legs. Like, you look like, why you want only people then you like or you talk very good about you. If you have the balls, you put also people that talk bad about you on your own platform to showing you're much bigger than them, and you showing that people then you can do better, and that people, they might start talking good about you and eat back what they said. But
it is. You are
not
absolutely
always
right.
doing
That
that.
yes man abstract echo chamber is something that I really wish Maury brought more attention to. Like, this tweet right here, no one wants to talk about how this chick works for Abstract. Leon posting really positive things. Nobody wants to talk about how Leon was a contractor for Abstract. No one wants to talk about how, like, the only people that are saying nice things about Abstract are people that work at Abstract. Like, Finn showing off how much XP he makes each week and being like, you can earn this much too. Finn works at Abstract. There's literally no way you could make that much that as he does. It's a really, in my opinion, disingenuous chain. It's run mostly by early 20-somethings that are trying to just be edgy and kind of assholes. So I wish they changed a lot of things. I wish they focused on games and not casinos. I wish they allowed more people to stream, or were a different kind of censorship. Like, the fact that we got kicked off for having a shit talk show, but there are kids just straight up gambling with, like, random, like, shit in their background. Like, I mean, whatever. Yeah, it's not the case is the only way they are successful is a very slow cook. We'll have to wait like 2 years to see if Abstract is successful. And maybe their survivability is their success, but yeah, yeah, I think the only positive way that they win is with a lot of time.
Yep.
So that's my prediction.
Nice. We're gonna see what's happening like in next weeks, and I can't wait for the next episode as well. It's gonna be much more coming. I'm sure. I'm feeling it. This week something gonna happen.
Well, there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. We got stuff happening northbound. We got some game nights for Bornless coming up. Game nights for Sparkball. While it's here. Shout out to all the people that are just kind of lurking and watching. Appreciate you. Thanks for sending the DMs and letting me know how the show's going. Do send me more DMs and tell me how much we suck, so that way we can improve. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. Demo, send us away.
Thank you everyone tuning in at this episode of the Shit Talk Show, and thank you everyone. Keep playing games and expect much more about games. So these very awesome development studios keep cooking and sending us more games like we saw coming out this week, and hopefully also in Web3 gamings we're gonna have much more gaming, cooking good stuff and sending good stuff. No auto battlers, please. No auto battlers anymore. Just give us something we can play. Favorboard, launch another playtest, please. Let me play. Okay. And with this, my please, Favorboard, launch another playtest so we can play. I'll launch you to the next episode next Monday, again, 11 a.m. And subscribe, like, put a notification on YouTube. Follow us on X, follow us on TikTok, and keep shit talking about gaming and not. Jeez.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.